watching One Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have another Washington football team video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to recap day 3 of the Washington football team's 2021 NFL draft. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. Let's get straight into today's video. So yes, of course, I'm a day late because normally I would make, separate videos on each pick when they're first announced, but I decided to just wait it out so we can just talk about it all in one video. So without holding you guys any longer, with our 4th round pick, we decided to go with John Bates, tight end out of Boise State. Now, the thing with John Bates is a lot of people, including me, we wanted Brevin Jordan. I even wanted him as early as the 2nd round, but then as I realized, just with JOK, same thing with JOK, I wanted him at 19, right? But then when I realized, we didn't select them, okay, we should have went with them. But then we get to the 2nd round, and I'm like, JOK is still there. It's something you must not know about. Same with Brevin Jordan. He just kept falling and falling and falling. And I'm like, something we don't know about that, Ron Rivera knows about, and the reason why they didn't want to draft him. They probably didn't want to go that route. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't be wanting Brevin Jordan. But we decided to go with John Bates out of Boise State. With John Bates, I watched a little bit of film on him, and he can do it all, man. He can pass block, he can go up there and get it, receive, and he has some speed on. Not the fastest in the world, but he can run after catch. I think this is the perfect wide receiver 2. Of course, we know we have Sammis Reyes, but this could be the perfect tight end 2 rather, or tight end 3, however they want to look at it, to go alongside with Logan Thomas, man. I honestly do. Like I said, he can do both blocking and he can also pass catch. So I think, like I said, this is the perfect guy to go along with Logan Thomas. And who knows, maybe this could be a late round still. I honestly feel like this is a good pick. Like I told you, I wanted a pass catching threat in Brevin Jordan, but it's something about Brevin Jordan that we don't know about currently, and that Ron Rivera and those guys knew about in the war room, unless, like I said, they just didn't want to go that route, which is cool. And we decided to go with John Bates with our 4th round 124th pick. I'm excited about this guy. I'm excited about this pick. Like I said, he can bring multiple aspects to the game: run blocking, pass blocking, and also being able to pass catch. Now, in the 5th round, we decided to go with safety Derrick Forrest out of Cincinnati. And a lot of people was excited about this pick, and I am too, man. Not only are we getting more safety depth, we're getting a guy that could possibly compete for a starting spot. Now, I don't know if he's going to even get, there, but a lot of people feel like this could be the late round still of the draft, and he could be the Terry McLaurin of this defense. Now, I know that's high praise, but this is what people are thinking in the Washington football team community. I didn't come up with that, but a lot of people feel like this could be the still of the draft. Now, with Derrick Forrest, he ran a 4.4 140, which is solid speed, and as a safety, I watched a little bit of his film. Still has to have a lot of work to do on him, but he's a guy that can fly around the ball, make tackles, make plays on the ball, not as afraid to pass coverage and even guard your best wide receiver in the slot. So this guy can do it all, man. He's a DB. When he first got drafted, I think I could be mistaken, but when I seen him get drafted, it said cornerback on the screen. So this guy could fit right in with what Washington and Jack Del Rio likes to do, because although we know some of these guys are labeled at a position, but we know they're all defensive backs. That's what Jack Del Rio said, and that's what the defensive back coach said too. They'll all play their designated position, but they're all defensive backs. Same with Cameron Curl last year when we drafted him out of Arkansas. We knew he was a safety, but he has the ability to play cornerback if we need him to in nickel packages. He did it at Arkansas. So the same with Derrick Forrest. You should be expecting to get something out of him on there. And Martin Mayhew basically said about Derrick Forrest, this is a guy that's going to have to carve out his playing time and start with special teams, which it seems like all of our safeties do. Remember, Deshazor Everett a couple years was a be special teams stud, special teams captain. Then he eventually got his shot to, play last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Then Troy Aikman, he started on special teams. Then he got his shot. He really wasn't that good. Now he's back on special teams, and he's one of our best special teams player. But the thing about this is, now that we drafted a safety, somebody's going to be cut. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Somebody's going to get cut. And this could be the end of Troy Aikman in Washington, especially if this guy is a special team stud, how we're expecting him to be, or how Martin Mayhew is viewing this guy, I should say. We know we have Landon Collins still. We still have Jeremy Reeves. We still have Shazer Everett. We obviously have Cameron Curran. We have Derrick Forrest. So this could possibly be the ending of Troy Aikman. We'll see. But all I'm going to say is camp is going to be very exciting this year. But after making a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington football team actually decided to go with a long snapper by the name of Cameron Cheeseman out of Michigan. And I know a lot of people were scratching their head at this pick, but me personally, I honestly was like, a long snapper, really? That's weird. But then after thinking about it, we needed a long snapper. This was a position of need, and honestly, I wasn't really too mad at it, because who else was going to play long snapper? You know what I'm saying? We got rid of Nick Sundberg, and it's in the 5th round. Not saying you can't find good value in the 6th round, rather, not the 5th round, but not saying you can't find good value in the 6th round, but I would prefer them to spend a 6th round pick on a long snapper than any other round. So I'm perfectly fine with this. We needed a long snapper, and a long snapper, although it's not looked at as an important position, it's very important. You know what I'm saying? That's why Nick Sundberg was around for so long. I don't know why they got rid of him, but for some reason they did, and they wanted to go in a newer direction, and they are going to get that out of Cheeseman. So not a lot to talk about this guy right here. Just glad we got a long snapper. Now, so moving on to the 7th round, we decided to go with Will Bradley King, defensive end out of Baylor. Now, with Will Bradley King, this is a no-brainer pick in my opinion. If you guys remember back in my mock drafts, I didn't have us drafting Will Bradley King, but I did have us getting a defensive end / edge rusher in the later rounds of this draft, because if you guys paid attention to last year, and even if you still know to this day, we don't have before making these picks, we didn't have no depth behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, we had James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill. Are you telling me you're really comfortable with Casey Toohill and James Smith-Williams being the backups of Chase Young and Montez Sweat? No, I am totally not on that train. I know we needed some edge rushers, and it was so important, the fact that they decided to double up by drafting Shaka Tony out of Penn State. But back to Will Bradley King for a minute. I'm really excited about this pick. I don't think these guys are going to be able to get a lot of playing time, but they are going to see a little bit, considering the fact that you never know what can happen. They still have to make the roster, obviously, because they're still going to be fighting with guys like Casey Toohill and also James Smith-Williams, but these guys are going to see a little bit of playing time, and I'm glad they get a preseason. But more importantly, they're going to be behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat, so we can finally have guys to go in there and actually, and I'm not going to say they're not going to miss a beat, because obviously Chase Young and Montez Sweat are on a different level than these guys are, but they get to learn from these guys, and they're going to eventually pick up some tendencies from them. I don't think they're going to be as good as Montez Sweat and Chase Young, obviously, but it's going to be good to at least have guys go in there and still be able to make plays on the ball as far as getting to the quarterback, stopping the run, and that's what Will Bradley King does. Now, Shaka Tony, on the other hand, he is really undersized for the position, hence why he went in the 7th round. And with Shaka Tony, he's a guy that doesn't really have that many tools in his bag. He has a bull rush and he has a speed rush, but he doesn't really have too many moves up his arsenal. But I really like this pick more than the other one. I mean, I still like the guy out of Baylor, Will Bradley King, but I like this one a lot more because I feel like he has a lot more potential than Will Bradley King, and I see him making this roster, and I feel like he can be a great backup for Chase Young. Like I said, I love speed rushers. This is just me personally. I love speed rushers. I love guys getting to the quarterback. Yeah, stopping the run is all cool and whatnot, and this is what he lacks, obviously, is stopping the run, but he can get to the quarterback, and I like this more. And I don't know what it is, guys. Honestly, I just have an obsession with guys guys been getting able to get to the quarterback. I love speed rushers. I'm fans of Myles Garrett, Chase Young, obviously, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa. I just love guys being able to get into the quarterback. I love speed rushers. These are the new age guys that's going to be defensive ends now. You rarely see guys get drafted and still be, big, stocky JJ Watts of the world. This is a new generation where a lot of these guys are going to be, small, fast, and being able to get off the edge and run 4.41s in their 40 times. So I like this new wave we're going down, and this is the same case with Shaka Tony. Now, he's not a phenomenal guy by any means, but he can get to the quarterback. Like I said, he lacks in the run game. So on running situations, he won't be seeing the field, but on plays like 3rd and 18, for some reason, whatever reason that may be, say Chase Young or Montez Sweat is off the field, Shaka Tony can come in, and I'm not going to say, like I said before, I'm not saying that you won't miss a beat, because obviously you will with Chase Young being out or Montez Sweat being out for a play, but this guy has the ability to still go get the quarterback, and we know we lacked this last year. Even with Ryan Kerrigan on the roster, we lacked the ability to get to the quarterback when Montez Sweat or Chase Young was out of the game. Those guys need to be in every single snap to even have a chance to sniff at the quarterback, and I'm glad we have that fixed somewhat with drafting these two guys here. Now, to close out the draft, the final selection, the Washington football team decided to go with wide receiver Dax Milne out of BYU, and this is a guy that's really a one-hit wonder, a guy that a lot of people didn't really know about, and he exploded on the scene the same time that Zach Wilson exploded on the scene. He had 6 100-yard games, if I'm not mistaken, with Zach Wilson there, and this is a guy that's going to be playing slot for Washington if he in fact make the roster. Now, the thing with Dax Milne out of BYU that's really crazy is, now, last year we were talking about how poor this wide receiver room was, and by any means, is it great? No, it's not great, but it is a major upgrade by adding Curtis Samuel, by adding De'Ami Brown in the 3rd round, and Dax Milne, Adam Humphries, and guys like that. But now this wide receiver room is just stacked, and it's like somebody's going to get cut, maybe even 2 guys. I think they're going to keep 6 receivers, and that's going to leave 2 guys off this roster. Let me tell you who's a lock as of right now. Obviously Terry McLaurin, obviously Curtis Samuel. AGG is a lock because last year he didn't get playing time because of injury, and they still want to see what they have in him. Obviously they spent the 4th round pick on him last year. De'Ami Brown is a lock because they just got him this year in the 3rd round, and Adam Humphries is a lock. So that leaves out Kelvin Harmon, Cam Sims, Isaiah Wright, Steven Sims fighting for that last spot, and honestly I think they're going to give it to either Cam Sims or Kelvin Harmon, because the reason why I didn't put Kelvin Harmon as a lock, because they're yet to see him play, because he was drafted, not only was he drafted by the last regime, he got hurt in Ron Rivera's first year as being the coach, so they're yet to see him actually play, that being Kelvin Harmon. So I'll give the up leg to Cam Sims just because he was able to play last year and he was able to somewhat produce, but this year's training camp is going to be exciting. I cannot wait, especially for the wide receiver room. And like I said, man, it's just crazy to think how last year we were crying for receivers. Now we have a whole bunch. So yeah, man, it's me, boy Juan Gotti. I just wanted to come on here quickly to talk about day 3 of the Washington football team's NFL draft, all the picks that they made, and me closing out this video. I'm going to grade the Washington football team's 2021 NFL draft. So I'm going to give the Washington football team an A- or B+ with the potential to reach an A or A+. And the reason why I say that is because me personally, by watching this draft, I felt like Washington and Ron Rivera, Martin Mayhew, Marty Hurney, they all drafted based off of upside and what these guys could eventually turn into, and it's nothing wrong with it. You can do stuff like that, especially on the defensive side of the ball when you're Washington, because we have one of, if not the best defenses in the NFL. So I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, and that's fine. We all have our own opinions. Some of you guys probably feel worse than me, or some of you guys may feel like they knocked it out the park this year. So we all have to wait and see how this plays out. I could very well be wrong, and this draft class could blow it out the water from the very start at an A+. So with that being said, man, it's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you popped.